Look at us.
Look at us. First of all, thanks for everyone to tuning into this video. It's the first on this channel, and we've never really done a video like this.
This is weird.
This is weird.
It's a bit weird.
It's weird, so I don't know. We're gonna be awkward about it, I guess. But it's about our first argument.
We had our first tiff.
We had a first tiff.
We had our first fight.
We had our first little fight.
Our first fight in 9 years.
And look, we posted.
And it was real.
We posted a couple things about it online, and it got fucking millions and millions of views. And I was like, oh shit, maybe we shouldn't have done this.
I was trying to sneeze.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and kind of got a little out of hand, I feel like.
I also think that you can tell that we aren't drama YouTubers.
No, it is not. It's very uncomfortable to have I don't know how people do it, man. Like you have an argument and then I tune in the next day, there's 4,000 comments telling me what's wrong with my friendship. I've never had that sort of shit happen before. I don't know how people can live like that.
I think it's very important to note also that this was real.
Yes.
We did have a real fight, and the bus incident was 100% real.
Let's go over Let's go over what happened. Obviously, by now, you guys have seen...
You tell it from your point of view, then I'll tell it from my point of view.
Okay. Right, so you guys have obviously seen the incident now, you know. Probably not a huge deal compared to some fights that I'm sure you have seen on the internet.
Yeah,
but
I feel like some of you were actually expecting us to
beat the living shit out of each other.
Yeah.
But look,
and let's just also say, let's clear that up real quick. If that was to happen, I would have won still.
I don't know, I've been hitting the gym pretty hard lately.
It wasn't like that though.
No, it wasn't like that, but it was it was emotional. It was it's probably the furthest we've gone in that direction. So from my point of view, right, and obviously this is coming out after episode 4 of Unhinged, and you'll notice in episode 4 of Unhinged, we shook hands at the start, but I'm not in the rest of the video, right? And that's because there was still some tension there, you know what I mean? I was hiding out a little bit, and I was like, fucking hell, I was having a bit of a meltdown. I had that anxiety, but I was also kind of like, oh man, I hope I haven't up anything here. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I woke up the next day and I didn't remember it. So I woke up the next day and Robbie comes up to me and he was like, shit went down last night with you and Mully. He said that what he told me was Mully threw you from one end of the bus to the other and laid into you. And I was like, what? I don't feel anything. I feel like I would have a broken tooth or a black eye or something.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, this happened. And then actually when I watched the Unhinged episode for the first time, I was pleasantly surprised because I was told that it was a lot worse than that.
Well, it's crazy you say that too, because from my point of view, it seemed real hectic.
Yeah.
But I also imagine that's because we were drunk. It was 6 a.m. Juicy had the speakers blaring to the point where they were distorted, and it was dark, and it was just hectic.
Yeah.
You know?
So my point of view from this was Unhinged, right? First of all, we have those sorts of nights off camera pretty much at least once every trip that we go out together, you know?
Yes.
Maybe not that level of f***ing with each other, but that is the unhinged content. We weren't putting it on for camera. That is we have those sorts of nights semi-regularly.
Oh, without the fighting.
Yeah, without the fighting, obviously.
Getting a bit silly, we definitely get a bit silly. I think the difference is that for the whole trip, none of us have ever had a camera in our face 24/7. We've never, here's the thing, few dot points. We've never had a camera in our face 24/7. Usually when we do trips together, we're in a house or a hotel and we can kind of just scurry away to our own little area and just
unwind,
be on our own, because alone time is very important. And we didn't have that because we're on a bus together, right? Third of all is we also haven't seen each other for a while. And every time we never see each other for a while, we get a bit silly.
It gets crazy.
You know what I mean?
We miss each other.
It's literally 5 dudes on a bus just around.
I feel like we're not one of those group channels that gets together just for work. I
also think we're missing the most important thing.
What's that?
One of the comments said, just sit down and have a drink together and talk about it. So I'm going to go get a drink.
Okay, get a grog.
You want a grog?
Shout out to grog.
You need to have one too.
Cold ones. Thanks, mate.
This was one of the comments. We are going to go through the comments as well because
they're pretty funny.
You guys seem to know more about our relationship than we do at this point.
Look, first of all, let me just put this out there.
One of the things that the comments said was just have a drink and sit down and talk about it.
Let me put this out there first of all. Trip of Terror wasn't filmed a year ago. It's still quite fresh on our minds, right?
It's very fresh.
It was filmed quite recently. And when it's true, when people noticed that we were like doing stuff together and then we had a bit of beef. And the reason was because we did review, reviewing these episodes like a week before they come out.
Yes.
And when you're watching them again, yeah, it brought back a lot of old memories and shit like that. And things were definitely like tense. And yeah, like I said, episode 4, I'm not in that video because things were a little bit tense.
Yeah,
I locked in for the horror episode because I was like, bro, we spent $1 million on this trip. You have 2
minutes of screen time in the unhinged episode.
Yeah, and it's me being I got too drunk last night.
And the rest of it has been Eddie in a field taking photos.
Yeah. No, so we do actually have... Now, here's the thing. I haven't seen the other episodes yet, but I know that we had a more in-depth chat about it.
We did.
Later in the Unhinged. It might be episode 5, might be episode 6.
I don't know. Also, there are contributing factors to this too. First of all, before we filmed Trip of Terror, we'd already been in America for 3 weeks, away from home, out of routine. That was already hard because most of these trips that we do, we have them planned before we get to America. Sometimes we get to America and shit isn't done for them. Some shit didn't arrive for videos, or like the locations or wherever we're supposed to film suddenly back out and we're scrambling to figure out what to do. In this particular instance, you have that factor. We've already been away from home for 3 weeks, right? Me and Josh work very well together in routine. He has a routine at his house in his life. I have a routine in mine. And when we go away, it f***s the whole thing up. And it's very hard to get back into it.
Like we've got, all in all, 4 channels, 3 product lines.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's like Wednesdays for our second channels. Thursdays are for gaming. Fridays are for gaming.
That's right.
Tuesday is business meetings.
That's right.
You know, everything's on a very tight schedule. And if anything comes and one of those things up.
Yeah.
Like
also, Battlefield 6 came out.
Battlefield
but I'm going to get to play that.
That up everything again.
No, but also the second thing is like, in this trip particular, our biggest trip ever, financially. What you guys don't see behind the scenes is like usually when we do these America trips, we do them pretty frequently. We've been doing this for 5 years now. Each trip costs about $200,000 roughly. In hotels, we got not just the 5 boys in hotels. We got 5 staff members that come with us.
Our first videos, like we'd do hot wings. It was like $200 in KFC. Now we're doing like Mario Party 3 with like 16 camera people and like drive-in. And that mini games.
Like, those Mario Party videos cost $50,000 to make.
Yeah.
Literally. Like, so we're not complaining also about like bumping up the production. All we're saying is like, this illustrates like there's a lot of stress involved.
And a lot of moving parts. So if like, you know, we plan a $50,000 Mario Party day and we're setting up and pulling down mini games all day and the inflatable car thing doesn't come, then like everyone has to do overtime, and overtime is like
more money,
several $1,000s an hour because there's 8 camera people. You know what I mean?
So that is like, now we have the Trip of Terror, which is our biggest, most ambitious project ever, and we didn't want to make these videos just like normal haunted videos. We wanted to make them like crazy, right? So we literally spend $1 million. Right? The tour buses that we had, the 2 of them was $100,000 just for the buses. Just for the buses was $100,000. And we're very thankful that we're in the position where we can afford to do this and make content for you guys, but it also adds a certain amount of stress.
I thought it was $300 for both of them, including
that was
the drivers.
$50,000 each.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. I asked about that was $50,000. But anyway, it's like
Queen Mary was like $20,000.
Queen Mary, bro, so that adds it. It's like you got to book the spots, right? The Queen Mary especially was like $20,000 because it's a business that is active, which means it has actual random members of the public staying there in the hotel.
It's a hotel. It's a fully live hotel.
And the only way that we could stay there is if we booked half the rooms.
And we had to book out all the ghost tours so that we weren't just standing there with like a family of 4.
Yeah, because the Queen Mary does ghost tours with whoever wants to do them. So we had to book all the slots that night so no random people were doing ghost tours.
And that's what it's like with these places. But the point of this is, what we're saying is, there was a lot of stress.
There's a lot of stress financially, and it's not even financially. It's like you can pay for shit, and if someone isn't doing their job right, it's the whole thing up, right? So we're on a very strict timeline. The bus drivers like Lee, he could only drive for 10 hours a day.
Yeah.
And we had a certain time frame to get to each destination. So if we're stuck in traffic for 2 hours, that puts the rest of the trip behind.
And we weren't just turning up with a camera like we have every other horror video. We had to turn up and rig the whole thing with security cameras.
Yeah.
Which was an insane, like, pulling out for production. Alana and Dose.
Yeah.
And, like, Kat and all the others. Like, especially like the Queen Mary, like running cables for like hundreds of meters of cable, like a kilometer, 3 kilometers of cable or something like that we're running.
No, I thought it was like 10.
10 kilometers of cables.
Yeah.
Running them through like 100-year-old haunted axe houses and shit like that. And like, then we finished filming at 6 a.m. and not for production. Production gets in there and they do a teardown of all the, because we got to get on the bus and go, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So and everyone was like pulling their hair out, you know?
Yeah.
So all of this stuff building up.
Anyway, point being, that's one issue. The next is, on our off days, we had nothing to do because we were driving for 10 hours a day. And so we just were partying, we were having fun, right?
And we also were like, we're going to make sure this vlog content is...
There's no point in bringing Robbie and paying him 10 grand. Let's be honest, it cost about 10 or 15 grand to bring Robbie because we had to fly him to America. We had to put him up in hotels, we had to get him food allowance, we had to pay him a wage. Just having one cameraman there to film a behind the scenes costs a lot of money, right? And we also, you can't just like, our lives are genuinely just entertaining. When I say that, I mean like,
it's just fast paced.
Regardless of if we were trying to make content for behind the scenes, random shit was just going to happen anyway. Because
we're just adventurous, silly fellas.
And we always just do dumb shit. So like genuinely, the like unhinged episodes was just us genuinely. That's how we are all the time.
Here's what it was to me, right? I've always been a fan of like Viva La Bam, Jackass, like that sort of shit. And I've always been like fascinated by like tour bus shenanigans and shit like that. And to me, I know we've kind of like stopped being as crazy on the Boys channel. We've kind of like moved in a different direction. But to me, the Boys Unhinged was a chance to bring that all back out again and not have to worry about monetization and everything like that, you know?
Yeah.
It was really like the perfect thing. And I've experimented with vlogs on my like Dub Daddy channel and I really like them, but I felt like the Boys channel should have a version of that, you know?
Yeah. You also have to understand that we're 5 separate people.
Yeah.
Here's the thing for me, right? The fight was the perfect storm. It was the climax. It was the climax of weeks of bullshit. And it was, you know.
I remember.
You also got to remember too that on the bus, we were all sleeping all day. We were in this weird.
Well, because we were like, we're basically working like night shift.
Yes. We were filming from like 7 p.m. to 6 a.m., sleeping all day while the bus drove, and then up all night, every night for like 2 weeks. And I don't usually do that, right? You do sometimes.
I do. I'm a night owl.
Currently, right now, you're in this like sleep schedule at this point of recording this where you're going to bed at like 10 a.m.
When I get mega creative, it's like I'm on drugs. Yeah. And right now, I'm like I'm music and like trying to provide direction for the rest of the tot. And I can't sleep, man. I just think of ideas all the time.
You slept last night because we had to film this today.
I slept I got 2.5 hours of sleep last night.
Point being is, I'm not like that, right? I love sleeping, bro. If it was up to me, I'd be unconscious 18 hours a day. But I just got so much shit to do. I love sleeping.
Yeah, I get you.
I love it, right?
So it hits you different when I'm like, everyone wake up.
Yeah, and so usually, you know me. You know me better than anyone. I usually would not have a problem with that, right? The difference is I don't have my own space. We're up all night. You know, which we finish a shoot and we're cooked, and then someone wants to film a short. Like the production will come in and be like,
it's a grind, guys.
You guys have to film like we literally filmed at one of the haunted locations and it's like 7 a.m. and our production was like, you guys now have to film a brand deal or whatever the we were doing, right? So it's like you just get no time, right? And then you're sleeping, and because the bus is moving, you're waking up and whatever. But it was like the perfect storm. If I don't get sleep for like 2 nights, bro, I'm
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, look, like from my point of view, I was like, let's make sure this is exciting. Let's like be who we usually are and get silly all the time. I was also on like a huge, and I got up a lot, but I was on a big health grind. So I was getting up early and like going for runs. So I was already like up at the crack of dawn and super energized.
No, I also think that's like another contributing factor to this night is like, whether you like it or not, you have changed your diet and exercise routine so crazy that like alcohol affects you real quick now.
Yeah.
Because usually back in the day it was like we would be partying a lot.
It was the first like
you have like a really bad intolerance now to alcohol and it just cooks you straight away.
I'd been it was definitely the perfect storm there because I'd been on like the craziest health grind of my life, not touching alcohol or anything like that, and I'd been doing like 12-hour overnight things and I hadn't had alcohol in ages, and then we that day we just drank for like 14 hours. And I want you to know, I basically remember nothing past last thing I remember was daytime having a tequila shot when we were bowling. That's the last thing I remember.
Yeah, we started drinking at 10 a.m.
I have little flashes of memory of like getting in that girl's car and trying to drive it, and like getting kicked out of the bar and being like, "What the?" Why was I kicked out?
We started drinking at 10 a.m. We finished drinking at 6 a.m.
And then next day. And then it's like 30 seconds of black and Robbie's like, you f***ed up last night, brother.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh no.
No, I think for me it's like, I think it's just like you have some sort of like exhaustion when you do these trips. It just lingers, you know? And we just did 3 weeks of filming already. And like then we're on the bus and it's just that one day where you just, everything compounds.
Yeah, and the other stressful thing was, right, and I really want to make this as clear as possible because I see this in the comments all the time, and we've seen the John Wolfe video. I've seen all the debunking videos. I think they're great. I love watching them and I love their theories. He has this theory where he's like, Dose is the mastermind behind all the faking. That's great. I love that. Please do more of that shit because it's kind of good for us as well. But I just want to put this out there. The added pressure of the whole thing was that we don't script things and we don't fake things. So it's like this is kind of a scary thing to do because you spend $1 million on a trip and it's like, what if we go there and nothing happens?
Yeah.
What if we go there and nothing happens and we have 6 episodes of like nothing? Because we've had those videos before and we posted them. We posted the video with Charlie.
We post horror videos where nothing happens either, just to be completely transparent.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you do go to spots and nothing happens.
And it ends up being like a cool, spooky exploration video, but 100% legit, guys. All right, just throwing that out there.
It sounds so cringe, though, when you say that all the time.
This is leading into something, right? Because, we actually started thinking this on the bus, and I think we talk about it in the next Strip of Terror episode, but our first fight ever, and what you'll see ends up happening on the bus, like when you get like bad juju and bad spirits, what happens? They say your relationships go to shit. People start acting differently. Bad things start happening. And guess what? That whole bus trip was a fucking shit show, you know? I remember Lana coming up to me and being like, I hope the boys are still together after this. The bus just started filling with piss and the whole bus smelled like piss. Me and Mully had our first physical fight. You'll see it in the later Trip of Terror episodes, but something that absolutely was crazy to me happens. And very quickly we were like...
What is it?
It's the crash.
Oh, the crash. Yeah.
And wait till you see how this thing all wraps up.
Also, the other thing too
is I couldn't be happier. It's fucking...
The other thing
like
too
a
is
movie, bro.
This is all everything you just said about like spirits and all that bullshit, deteriorating relationships. It's all still skepticism.
Yeah.
We don't actually know. I don't think anyone's ever really truly going to know, like, if it was because we were asking entities to follow us. Man, who knows?
But let's be honest. It's a pretty crazy coincidence, the shit that ends up happening.
That's what I'm about to say, is it's like, yes, we've never captured someone being flung up in the fucking air like in the movies or like, but there is some serious mental changes that happen on this trip specifically. There was some serious mental changes from Narrator. Like, we've never seen him so...
But you kind of acted out the most, but you also had the most shit going on in the Trip of Terror videos.
Yeah.
You know, it was a very like Mully centric
That trip of
story.
terror was basically about me.
Yeah.
And we didn't even, and by the way, guys, we had no, I know it's very easy to say this because people still probably won't believe it, but like when we're going into the trip of terror, we had the 6 locations planned and no story.
Yeah.
We didn't know what the was going to happen.
We were like, I was like, because we started talking about the trip of terror, like.
By the way, also, one of the other contributing factors is this isn't just $1 million trip, bro. We planned this for a year and a half.
We started, I've seen a lot of people comparing it to Hell Week. I would compare it to Hell Week too, but we started talking about this before we knew Sam and Colby, or knew what a Sam and Colby was. Obviously, we're really good friends with them now, and I love working with those guys. And their Hell Weeks are always bangers. They're always back. Their Conjuring series made me fans of those guys. You know, back with the Cody and Satori ABCD kind of stuff. But we initially the trip looked a little bit different when we first started talking about it. But the challenge was you need to have 6 places available that week. But, you know, we couldn't get them all in 2 weeks, you know. So it was really filmed like one after the other.
Yeah.
But I'm really happy with the spots we did go to. And the story that ends up unraveling, literally, I couldn't have written a better one myself. It come out so perfect.
That's what I was about to say, though.
Oh, dude.
Is we didn't have a plot or a story. We had 6 places and a bus, and we had to figure it out. The entire Trip of Terror arc is based off of coincidence after coincidence after coincidence. The story wrote itself, which is weird.
Yeah. It come out crazy. It has a twist at the end and everything.
And I know, like,
nice.
there's a lot, you know, the bad thing about you and YouTube videos is so many people have ruined it for people in terms of, like, the trust aspect. Because there's a lot of channels out there who do fake shit, and then they'll make a video like this and just try and, like,
push it more.
Convince the audience that it's real. But what I'm saying to you right now is, like, this entire thing, not 1 inch of it was scripted. It is all real, and everything we went through was just crazy.
Yeah.
Even like the Gansfield method. A lot of people, like, the first episode for me personally was like the most insane because the Gansfield method was this like thing that Juicy was yapping on about. He said he did it and it was nuts, and so we tried it, right? And a lot of people could be like, oh, Molly was faking it. I legitimately hallucinated.
Yeah. I just want to put this out there as well. It ended up being a huge hit. I've seen a lot of people asking for more of it. We do it again in the Trip of Terror, okay? Just throwing that out there. We do it again.
Yeah.
Okay.
So anyway, all that yapping we just did for 20 minutes is relevant because it added to the stress and conflict on the bus.
All right, let's go to me and you. I think, bro, we're boys. Do you know what I mean? And we've been talking like every day for 10 years.
Literally 10 years next year, 2016 is when we met.
I think that, like, you know, it was really touching seeing all the comments. I think we're always going to be good, man. We're always going to be good.
Of course.
You know? And, like, especially now, looking back on it and, like, seeing some of the recent episodes, it's like, it was nothing. You know what I mean?
No.
We just got smashed and we got a little too drunk and, I got a little too drunk. And there was a lot of pressure going on. And now the Trip of Terror, it's coming out and people are like enjoying each episode more and more. And it's like...
Also, you guys went crazy in the comments with the TikTok videos. Okay, this is... oh, God, this is so cringe. I will say this. I'm sorry that I aired the laundry.
It's all right.
And I know you responded and we kind of just went into this like weird spiral. But you guys in the comments really think you know our relationship better than we do. It's crazy. Can we read
I was a little surprised to see. I was like, what the f***? I didn't think we were doing it like this, but oh. And I did a reply and I didn't think the reply was that bad. And then I woke up the next day. Like I was just kind of like speaking my mind, which I've never really done in TikTok. Like I woke up the next day, 2 million views. I was like, oh no.
No, me too. And can I also just say, like,
I was like, oh no.
I never want to do this again because, like, I don't think I've had that much anxiety from like
having a shit in public.
Yeah,
we're not built for that, man,
dude. But also, it's funny to see like the comments kind of not pick sides. It was more just like
that was nice.
Like one of the top comments, bro. 15,000 likes. Please don't break up. I need both my dads.
That was nice. You know, there was a couple comments that were taking sides, but the vast majority was like crying emojis.
People like, this reminds me of my parents' divorce. Also, the amount of DMs I've got from people being like, you guys will work it out. Just sit down and talk to each other.
We're doing it.
Yeah. There's a lot of there's so many there's like 20,000 comments. I can't even read them all. The ghosts are tearing them apart. Who won the fight? I did, but that doesn't matter.
I couldn't even see straight. You know what? Here's something else as well.
Oh, you put that picture up. Whoever's editing, just put that picture of
and the trailer?
The trailer where the girl goes...
That sounds good.
Yeah, where the girl goes, I need to come.
Yeah.
You're like, that sounds good to me. And your eyes are like facing this way.
Yeah.
That was you, bro.
Yeah, look, I forgot to say, episode 4, there was something that we didn't capture on camera, right? So the next day after that...
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
And the bus was trashed, the speakers would come out, like production was kind of like, hey guys, the bus drivers are upset. And we were like, I was kind of like, man, they've had like Tommy Lee on this bus. Are you telling me we set the standard for trashing? A little proud, but also a little bit like, don't want to this trip up. But the boys had their first like serious meeting, turned the cameras off.
Actual sit down. And I was crying.
It was
Eddie
emotional.
was crying. Robbie was crying. We were all just crying.
And you were like, I remember you being like, if this is how it's going to be, I'm catching a flight to the next location. I'm getting off this bus.
Yeah.
And that's when I was like, man. And I apologized. I was basically just like, I up. I'm really sorry. I don't want to like make this a bad experience for everyone. I talked to production and they were like, oh, we thought it was funny. And I was like, okay, well, I just apologized because everyone was upset. But
yeah,
I felt like a real piece of shit in that moment.
Are you saying that for the camera or are you being serious?
I'm being real serious. I don't know if it was the anxiety, but that's why I was like, in episode 4, I was just like, what am I doing,
Well,
man?
I felt bad too because I was like, I'm not a violent person. I definitely wouldn't put hands up. Your friends are supposed to be the ones you defend, not the ones you attack. And then we literally like had that little scuffle, and I just was like, man.
Yeah. I remember the first thing I did when I woke up was give you a hug and say sorry.
Yeah. Robbie was crying. I punched Robbie.
Did you?
Yeah. Do you know about that?
No.
Oh, so you're all wet and sticky. Pull him out of bed.
By the way, you said I pissed myself in the video. All the comments are saying it. I just poured beer all over myself.
I don't know. I was too, remember? Like, I don't know what the happened. Nah, but like the part where like you're on me and then I get you out, I'm like, and then I punch you. And then I'm like, turn the camera off, Robbie. So then after the camera cuts, obviously this is on film because the camera wasn't filming, Juicy like pulls you out of the hallway and the music's still blaring, right? And I said, Robbie closes the door.
God, it sounds chaotic, dude. Just
yeah, it was nuts. It was like a like. So anyway, after we have our little biff, Robbie cuts the camera. Juicy like drags you out the hallway. Robbie closes the door, and I close my curtains, right? Literally about 5 minutes later. Now at the time, I didn't know this until he explained it to me. Robbie, all the music turns off. Juicy starts talking to you about going to bed. Robbie, I hear the door open, the sliding door. And I didn't know it was Robbie. I thought it was you, right? And I'm like, no. So
no.
He comes and he starts filling with my curtain. And he goes, I see his fingers coming. And he goes to rip the curtain open. I just punched him straight in the legs. I said, get the because I thought it was you.
Yeah.
And I opened the door and it's Robbie like,
oh no.
I was just coming to see how you were, man.
Oh shit. Man, that was Robbie's first boys trip. And bro,
Dude,
bro was traumatized.
The worst part is when we decided to bring him for the trip, I was like, dude, you're going to have the best time. I was like, these boys
I think if you ask him right now, he did have the best.
He thinks it's lit. I talk to him about it all the time. He's like, because I talked to him about filming more trips. He's like, I'm down.
I will say like after episode 4 of behind the scenes, the unhinged stuff, episode 5, I feel like we started like mending things properly again. We had a proper conversation. We got into a good place.
We were in this weird bar with like these weird slot machines. We were really drunk and
we had like a conversation.
Pulled each other aside and was like...
And then like the other boys, it turns out, were having some issues that I didn't realize. And like it ended up being really therapeutic and wholesome. And it was a chance for us to like, you know, really like kind of get all the grievances out. And I feel like it made our friendship stronger as a whole. But then it was like a bit, and then we, when we started reviewing the videos is when, I don't know, it brought up some of those feelings again, and we kind of stopped talking a little bit.
Whenever I had bad experiences, I don't like to bring them up again, and then we have to review every video, and it's just like,
yeah. And you're living through it and all the memories and stuff like that. And
yeah, I'm never doing that again. If you guys ever want to go on a bus again, you can do it on your own.
Look, you were a little different with that sort of thing, I would do it again in a heartbeat. It was some of my like favorite memories ever was on that bus. And I know some of the other boys like feel the same, but I know you being cooped up in any situation we've ever been where you end up like cooped up or in really close quarters with someone, you start to crack a little bit.
Oh.
Always. And like Alana and Dose, everyone put bets on who was going to crack. I think it's actually recorded somewhere.
Is it?
First. And you were the top pick.
I'm not ashamed of that.
Everyone. No, I don't think it's anything to be ashamed of. Some people just like
I need my space, bro.
Yeah. But
I tried my hardest. Don't get me wrong, I tried.
It was day 3.
No, it wasn't.
What day was it?
It was like, we were like a weekend.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
No, but yeah. And like people like me and I feel like Juicy.
You also know that I'm a nest, bro. I'm like a bird.
Yeah, I know.
I like being at home.
Like we go camping.
Anytime I have to leave my home, dude.
We go camping and you're like, I need a shower, right? Where I'm like, bro, put me in the river and a bar of soap. I'm good, you know what I mean? Like I like getting filthy. I like getting on like mental grinds where it's hard. It's like, when you go to the gym and the next day you wake up, your muscles, you can barely sore, everything hurts, but you feel that kind of like, that feels good, like no pain, no gain. I get that mentally, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if I'm working so hard that I can barely even think or breathe or anything like that, and I'm starting to like come undone at the seams, I feel good because I know that I'm putting in the work.
I also feel like I'm a little different in a sense now where I'm like working since I was 14 as a chef, and then like YouTube pops off and my dad dies, and I feel like I've been grinding my whole life, and now I'm in this like comfortable area, and anytime some brings me out of that, I get so mad because I like being comfortable and I like being like in my own. Like I bought my house, I worked hard for that shit. I love being at home, right?
Yeah.
Anytime someone takes me out of that shit, I get frustrated.
Let's be honest, like. The bus was designed for us to be uncomfortable.
We really set ourselves up for failure with this one.
For success. That's what makes an interesting show, bro.
But
no one wants to see us like playing our Switch 2s for 2 weeks straight.
Oh, I would have loved to do that though.
Yeah, everyone would have loved to do that. But
then we didn't have no internet. We couldn't even play them.
No, the Starlink. God damn
I'm a comfortable person.
I know.
I'm a materialistic motherfucker. When
you should see his theatre room.
If I don't got a solid Wi-Fi connection and a phone charger, I get angry.
You seen that Treehouse of Horror episode, Homer? No TV and no beer, making Homer something.
That's me.
That's Mully.
That is me. No, that's me.
No Wi-Fi and no Milky, make Mully crazy.
Dude, if I don't got video games, an internet connection, and a phone, I'm out of there, dude.
Look, I think to summarize it all, there was lots of cooking factors. There was like, it's the stress, the project stress, the time factor, the financial and investment factor.
It's also like everyone's in the same boat, so you can't just go and vent to someone.
Yeah.
Because if you go vent to someone about your drama, they're in the same boat.
Yeah. Then there's also like the scary factor, you know what I mean? Was there some dark shit happening? I don't know. There's definitely an argument to be made there. There's shit that happened on that bus that I've never had happen before, and we literally asked for it.
Yeah.
And like, to put it all together, I think I look back on it and I'm like, it's a great series. It's entertaining. It was what we wanted. It was raw. It's the perfect little vlog series.
Yeah.
And I'm super proud of like coming together, and because it's we'll probably all 5 of us will talk about it together on some kind of video one day. So I don't want to get too much into details, but I could talk about it for hours. But I think the main thing to get across from it is we are sweet again. We're good, aren't we?
Yes.
I've put it down like this. We are not friends. We're more like brothers at this stage. You know what I mean? It's like we're family now.
You ever have a punch up with your brother over Xbox and a week later you're fine? That's what happened.
Our lives are so interweaved that like that's just, you know,
Yeah.
I don't know how to put it.
Nah, I get ya.
We were like business partners, but we're not just business partners. We hang out like 3 times a week as
We
well.
also were friends before we were successful.
Yeah.
So
But I think like there's nothing to stress about.
don't worry.
Holy shit,
The dads
that is-
are back together.
So we're going to go over some of these comments, dude.
We had a broken family for
For a week. In a week, it was like 10 million views in a week. Bro,
You know, sometimes
the crazy thing for me? I'll go on YouTube and seeing someone talking about the Mully and Josh drama. Someone did a 17-minute video on my 90-second TikTok.
Sometimes you just have a Britney moment.
I was about to shave my head.
Sometimes you have a Britney moment and you just kind of like don't think and you just do, and that's what we did, you know? So Josh said you haven't replied to any of his messages. It's not both of you, it's you.
I just want you to know, like, we are not the type to get like bent out of shape over comments. It is genuinely
I don't give a
so entertaining
It's
to
funny.
read like what people say. Bro, if we were bent out of shape by comments, I would have quit YouTube 8 years ago, man.
I agree. Bruh, this is beyond childish, Molly. You're actually being a baby right now. We all saw the footage. It wasn't that bad. Are you actually ruining this shit because of some drunk behavior? Bruh.
Most of these comments are just don't break up, it says.
Pretty much.
Josh, I think Mully has an attachment of a demon. That's why he's so angry. I personally
True.
am not totally convinced that's not the case, by the way. If just that one thing happened and the whole trip went perfectly, I would say it's bullshit. But the series of events that happened on that bus, particularly from episode 4 onwards, kind of like we were like, even the bus driver was the one that was like, I've done hundreds of these trips and I ain't never seen shit like this happen before.
Nah.
I'm not even going to say it, but at the end of the whole series, he was a little freaked out, man. He wanted the bus cleansed, bro.
Yeah.
He really wanted the bus cleansed, man. Anyway, if you'll see it all, so I don't want to do any spoilers. Yeah, look, I'm touched. Most of the comments are just, y'all are joking, right? This can't be real. I'm sorry. Are you happy now? Are you
Yes.
satisfied?
Yes.
Should we get back to filming bangers together again?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Go to greengang.com. Because we're doing some crazy shit on greengang.com. I know it kind of got overshadowed by the Trip of Terror, but Green Gang's back.
All right, I'm going out. I'm going to go shit, bro.
Can you at least take your mic off before you go on shit?
Yeah.